Hello! So for my physics project, I decided to choose forces as my topic, so let's get into the video. So what is a force, and what is this equation? What does every variable part of this equation mean? A force is a push or pull that acts upon an object, and in the equation force equals mass times acceleration, the mass is determined by how much volume an object takes up. And acceleration is a change in velocity divided by the amount of time it takes for that change in velocity to occur. There are many different forces, such as the gravitational force, a frictional force, a normal force, and also an applied force. So what if I want to draw all of these forces? What would I do? I would draw something called a free body diagram, and it would look something like this. In the middle of the diagram, I would draw a box stating the mass an object has. From there, I would draw an arrow from the top of the box and place a normal force there, and from there, I would draw an arrow downwards from the box and label that my gravitational force. From there, I need to identify my frictional and applied force, so I would draw those on either side of the box. The frictional force will always go the opposite direction of the motion of an object. It appears that we have a practice problem. So Pavlov's dog is sliding on the surface going at a constant velocity. If his mass is 7 kilograms and he's moving to the right and has an applied force of 3 newtons, and acceleration is 10 meters per second squared because he's on Earth, find the force of gravity and the force of friction. So we know that the dog has a mass of 7 kilograms and that acceleration due to gravity is 10 meters per second squared. To find the force of gravity, we want to multiply these two variables together. Therefore, we know that the force of gravity is equal to 70 newtons because 7 times 10 equals 70. We're also asked to find the force of friction. This may seem confusing at first, but we need to be very careful with this question. We know that the dog is moving at a constant velocity. When an object moves at a constant velocity, all the forces are balanced. If this is the case, we know that the normal force cancels with the gravitational force, making the normal force equal to 70 newtons. We also know that the applied force is 3 newtons, and to cancel this out, the force of friction must equal 3 newtons. Therefore, this proves that the dog is moving at a constant velocity, and we also found the force of friction. This dog's free body diagram would look a little something like this. Except there is no dog in the middle. That's supposed to be a box. There we go. It appears there is a few questions that I need to ask you guys. So, first one is that Real throws her notebook out the window because she is completely frustrated, so... That's what people do! If her notebook is 2 kilograms, what is the force of gravity as it free falls out the window? One more question, and this question has multiple parts to it. So, a dog has a mass of 8 kilograms. The dog is pushed with a force of 16 newtons. If he is moving to the left and is moving at a constant velocity, find the force of friction, gravity, and the normal force.